Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Ye be kwaya mame. The platform show mame nchia ETF na yenchia MPP for so na young admonish obi biara or ye MPP ni mapa. The card down him say organize a party na ya share from polling station.
Demo no
nationwide. Unim.
More organize no.
Na unim say the card down say party grower obviously and do
come on my for say my first half PSG 1 Real Madrid 0 into us
very well the party grower na nipa juma so there one or two areas or honoma obenya disagreements kakra now you see sometime onya be out of 275 constituencies na say ebia wanya less than 10 and less than 15 where you have some little disturbances and disagreements you cannot say you haven't been able to properly organize activity or organizing see yenya fake akra to ourselves and we say other areas has not been good even me sitting here my constituency I didn't like the way they went about it but with all respect, it's a party, you be washi a dirty lane outsider and here na ko high nyina. But I believe we will go far and then we will try to put this right. About me say ebe ade who say NDC 40 tam ankonya ebobo. It has happened. It has happened before, but I'm saying yes, we will try penyin for be say akunya and they will sit down and discuss it for us to see what we can do. Now me chair menu we about radio. About UK me ti omon ka che papa on Sani Ibrahim New York any obibiara or diaspora or the platform show anyway now the cardinal
Supreme Court
and then me who dream me papa first of all me tie minority leader after the Supreme Court ruling and secondly me tie minority chief whip Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim.
A minority whip,
minority deputy whip, rather. Deputy whip. Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. The cardinal. Me who dream ye papa. Me tino ever one of the networks, radio station, afternoon show. To the extent, say the cardinal. Ye mra ponwa eda Ghana mra eda honoma obi biara nim say. Emre bia hye samra ni ase. Obi ka kire say no standing order any laws with all respect any statute a mo biara Ghana because it is regulates parliament's own proceedings. Or say okofa article 110 a share parliament say omon come out with their proceedings any the way omodo be omojuma and based on that in intino just the Supreme Court any to me to say it is inconsistent with the mother law of Ghana and as emrana omo within no inconsistent with the supreme law of Ghana. Me say what kind of argument is this? Kofa article 11 of the Constitution of Ghana ebema laws are ewo Ghana nyina even that Kachira will say, we no law bia and I'm bia ebe inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. No? And that's a obifi say inconsistent and yet right. No, the Kodan Supreme Court. And Mrano Society Supreme Court to me say they should interpret and say enye juma anasa amrano me enye juma. And you know what? Just take Article 2 and read down of the Constitution of Ghana. A catcher will say, will be beer or the Supreme Court. Supreme Court Bema ruling. Or move ye, let's say one day chira. Why one day chino? It is more or less a high crime against the Constitution of Ghana. Even the president. I may have to read that provision for you to just see.
I just want to understand exactly what you mean.
What it says is that, and simple. Or say, what it is here. May kind this Article 2.
Article 2. The 1992 Constitution.
Or say, this Constitution shall be supreme law of Ghana, first of all. And any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void.
Okay.
Just say any honum class. I will say crappy. It's crappy. Or say a person who alleges that. That's the 2. No, 2-1 rather.
Okay.
A person who alleges that an enactment or anything contained in or done under the authority of that or any other enactment or any act or omission of any person is inconsistent with or is in contravention of a provision of this Constitution may bring an action to the Supreme Court for a declaration to that effect. And I quote 2. Or see, the Supreme Court shall, for the purposes of a declaration under clause 1 of this article, make such orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declaration so made. Any person or group of persons to whom an order or direction is addressed under clause 2 for this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out the terms of the order or direction. The last one says failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order or direction made or given under clause 2 of the article constitutes a high crime. That's where the point I was making. Or say constitutes a high crime under this Constitution and shall, in the case of the president or vice president, constitute a ground for removal from office under this Constitution. Nti yekase emrawe yemfanto nchen se na Supreme Court kae no say order 109 clause 3 of the standing orders no inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution. Nti my parliament fan yejuma na say parliament ka say there be chinchina like the argument of Ahmed Ibrahim no chinchina you proceed separation of powers. I think on that score no near mrapono esiani say you have not got the right or you don't have the right to disobey the Supreme Court. Now you see the cardinal edi na kofa we nyina bai mashada atnase akankan kakra what they have written about the quorum in Parliament, and there are 2 provisions, Article 102 and Article 104. OTA minority, they are making the argument based on Article 104. And of course, there's Article 102. So, say speaker ni honum, na say obi preside ya, nipa no oye speaker na. That is where the argument is so. But if you look at it, the question is whether deputy speakers na ya you from Parliament no. Omu ye speaker na say omu ye speakers, properly so called. But the argument is that over Article 102, it talks about somebody presiding. And then Article 104 no, so it talks about quorum for decision making. And a decision making no, voting koso. Where they are saying, say, if you are a member of Parliament, then you are the right to vote. See, some make the argument say, once I ya elected and I ya to about more be a better no, or be a said, ever say me fi Nanton. Nanton for ya to about my Elijah Hadi to Pharaoh. But now honoma or say there be media, you deputy speaker and you taking decision no mean to me voting on behalf of the people of Nanton. Logically and commonsensically, no, it doesn't flow. And the argument is that the fact that Wakot now honum as deputy speaker no, now deputy speaker now on to me vacating mobile so presiding.
But said the argument almost a point and they say at that point now what you know. Oh now we the chairman. Oh now this guided discussion you know. Now we be a referee. Now say you know our interest was our game no more. That's how to mean fair.
You see, we've all resorted to making the common sense argument. And I'm boy. You resorted to making the common sense argument. Now, Yamfani say, "Oh, you're a judge in a case. You can't be a judge in your own cause. That's the argument you are making. But in the case of the wisdom of the framers of the law, almost say look for 2 deputy speakers. Yanka say 1, or say each one from each other party, from the parties in parliament. It cannot all belong to one party. And I'm a now omoba. Now yembisa ya hon. Ede enti no muye ni 2. Ebia we preside omo take a decision. Now if they take a decision and somebody is supposed to be counted, ebia one has to come in again to sit down. All these are all your friend say commonsensical arguments are you making. And minority leader can say a bit more say crano, their second deputy speaker is not in parliament. So will the person vacate and then come and sit down to vote? All these are developments are here. But I'm just trying to say, Emrana Kasankasa, these 2 people are 2 deputy speakers. Are they the speakers of parliament properly so called? Or speaker of parliament properly so called? And they are just presiding to ensure that the business of the house continues. It's a developing story. I'm saying Justice Abulai or the case he called Supreme Court. Lawyer Justice Abulai, that's the name.
Okay.
What indicated say obeja full ruling no. Now or kind area na say officer obeko for reviewer, he would have to go or apply for a review of the judgment. But as it stands now, this argument of say Supreme Court akasewie na yen fa nye juma ana ye de be juma kra na ye nature no, I think we are actually trying to subvert our own laws. Yen kasankasa ye to hono. Ghana needs to move on. Now say per se ye kwenima, this talk of judge way a MPP judge and now court way a MPP court, I think it's pathetic.
But is it peculiar to the NDC?
It is not peculiar to the NDC. I made the same point this afternoon on one of the platforms. Say, yen amanu semfo and a copy problem yamayo. It is when we are in opposition, whatever we say is to convince whoever, whether it's right or wrong, to vote for us to come to power. Yeah, but power, necessarily we are confronted with the reality. Cardinal, that is where we begin to have problems with the way we talk again. Because what can say maybe Oba and what facing reality. Now, in order to move on, you have a difficulty. But I've always maintained that say yen and mebuna ye ba up. Say yan shasi ain't changing the trend of our politicking. And look at what actually able saved the nation and then stand on it as Americans and other developed countries have done. Say that no be oh yet they are more for your politics. Of course, it doesn't mean say your political party will not develop. You have to. But about an issue of this nature where our constitution has to play, come into play, where your friends the development of the nation come into play, and your parochialism now your party they are change. And I believe we are beginning to learn and we are beginning to move on. I even give example. Hey, Petroi, ye politics is on the no twin chain, sa na forex market, dollar here any other foreign currency, ye the politics. Now, so Abamia, my look at the history. Abamia, apart from President Akufo, Tamaye redenomination. A dollar at a point, CD was stronger than the dollar. Okay, until later on, every pay 1 CD. It begins to rise. Until say at most mobile, echo 1 CD 20% the more. Then of course it kept on rising. By the time the NDC left, it was 4 CD 20%. So sana yenina chira. And we still continue to argue on that tangent. And I'm saying that this kind of politics, it will help us to the extent that now today the law is clear, says Supreme Court Kasawak or Makasa. And look, Cardinal, let us not underrate the Supreme Court justices. The Cardinal, that insulting behavior we put up, no. Say then somebody sit down to say that judge is a political judge and I worship political lenses. And I'm saying, I think we should stop it because these are people who are men and women of integrity. They have an integrity to protect, and posterity is there to judge them based on the judgment they give, and they are mindful of that. Now, so now officer Sebi, Obi Papa, Obi Nana, what rises to that level? Come on, NDC because the person didn't just wake up one day to become a Supreme Court justice, a justice. What rises throughout ebia no ye lawyer ni mapa wa fomu ama ya beyi no president abeyi no no aba that experience the person has gathered to the level no enso by betina ha you want to say whatever you want to say, but danger is that we will vilify our courts, we will destroy our courts, and tomorrow assemble you would have nowhere to go. Isn't it interesting? The very people who are saying say Supreme Court no enya there, and now kasa me no say 2 rates and they are Supreme Court for interpretation
of them.
Many are brother Jemfi a case according Supreme Court and
interpretation of what?
Or say your friend is saying I think he's taking some reliefs based on Maxwell Ajimai appointment to the Court of Appeal.
To the Court of Appeal.
Yes. Or say certain provisions based on that there are some inconsistencies of the law and she's seeking some interpretation from the Supreme Court whether Maxwell Ajimai is qualified or not qualified. The same people like I say omo sebi no. Omo my judgment instead of say you take your time judgment ko unyan kan your kra or say you are bastardizing them. Say omudi. Can we are then you now
but
understand so
much because of Supreme Court
that is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. No.
Okay. Let me understand.
Even in our local palace, say ohene ekasa largely yempese obetwina no akosi bone e woni pam. Even if the okay na you are only in there is a way, a procedure that obetuma fa etimi address your consensus.
This FM 104.3 Good to meet